All right, everyone, I got a big list for you, the best penny stocks to buy now. I have 2 honorable mentions that we'll start with, and then 5 others that I think the best penny stocks to buy now that we should be taking a look at the movement that they have and where they could potentially go based on the momentum that they have and where they're situated relative to their moving averages. So I'll list them off very quickly here for you. We have BEEM, DDD, NNDM, LCID, REKR, PACB, and OCGN. I think I got them all. I'd have to go back and count them. They'll all be in this video here for you. And by the way, over at the Discord, I'll put out some technicals over there as well in my expert channel. I'm one of the experts over there right now. There's a whole team of us to support you in your journey towards financial freedom and building alpha in your portfolio, sharing all sorts of things for finance. So it could be blue chip stocks, it could be penny stocks, it'd be the best stocks to buy now. You name it. It's all over there, present for you, live trading, AI tools, advanced charting tools, the bread bot, which can tell you when the big moves are coming. It's an entire ecosystem there to support you through this process. Links in the description, code word doctor when you sign up. Let's get into those charts. So the very first one, we're going to kick things off with BEEM. And this is an honorable mention because I don't think it's one of the best penny stocks to buy now, but it very well could be if it can actually keep up with the moving averages. So the RSI at 52.79. So far, we found support at the 13 EMA. If we can hold support, it's actually at the 50 right here. We tagged the 13 with the bottom of this wick, and before recovering, closed at about the 50. If we can hold on to that 50 EMA, if we can get the 13 across, we should be able to get some further bullishness out of this. It still is in very bearish territory, but with this consolidation period towards the bottom here, we could be seeing that time when we start to get that rampant upside on this that could push us up to 2x where we're at right now. So 100% gain if we can hold on to those moving averages. The momentum is looking ripe. On a weekly basis, we have a confirmed rise in momentum, but it still is in bearish territory right now. So we'll have to watch and see if we get enough. By the way, we had just an incredible volume 3 weeks ago for trading. We'll see if that holds out for us over time as well. And if we look on the weekly chart at the moving averages for this thing, let me move the chart. A lot of movement here for you. By the way, the ticker symbols in the back and the period of the chart. So every candle is 1 week that we're looking at here for this one. The previous one was the daily chart. When we look at this, another thing that you want to watch for is breaking this rejection, this resistance that we have at this yellow line, which is the 13 period EMA coming down across the screen. Rejection, 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 rejection. 4 different rejections. So we could possibly sell down from here, but if we can get up on top of it, it happens to be at $1.68 right now. Closing up above that is going to be absolutely enormous. Beam has not been able to close above the 13. Oh gosh, we'd have to go back quite a ways. Last time we closed up above the 13 was July of last year. To close up above the 13 week, that would be absolutely huge. We do have some increased volume, which could justify some of this movement that we're seeing. Getting on top of that 13, which happens to once again be at $1.68, getting up on top of that is going to be absolutely massive for us for seeing further upside. So honorable mention. And when we go out to 3D systems, DDD, on the weekly momentum chart here, not a lot going on. We do get some increased volume and rejection at the 13. We have to get on top of it, just like I said for Beam as well. Honorable mention, not best penny stock to buy now, but the other 5 after this are absolutely on that list. So let's drop down to the daily chart, find out why it's an honorable mention. We got some movement on this after hitting. I'm pretty sure it was an all-time low for this one. Got to get on top of that 50 EMA. If we can solidly sit on top of it, we're golden. I'll put it up on the best penny stocks to buy now. If we can't get on top of it, well, then I'm just going to take it off the list. Right now, honorable mention is hold the 13, get back on top the 5, get back on top the 50, and we can really start to turn this ship around. We do have rising momentum on the daily chart as per the RSI, but we got to hold up above 50. Right now, we're at 51.43. On weekly, rising, but still bearish. And we go out to monthly chart, we're still declining at that point in time. You can see that we do have this wild indecisive candle right here. Very long wicks, very narrow body with some buying pressure down below it, but we're still dangling off the 5 EMA. So honorable mention. And now I think that that's worth watching for now. I think even better than that is the first on the list for the best penny stocks to buy now, and that's NNDM, which on the monthly basis, not all that great. We can see a long consolidation period, even narrower consolidation right now, which could go one of 2 ways, up or down. So if we break to the upside on this further, if we can get on top of that 5 EMA that's on here, the green line that's on the chart. If we can get on top of that, that'll be the first good sign. Indecision, you can see the buying pressure off of this. The momentum kind of subdued right now. Not great for us, a little bit bearish. Let's go down to the weekly chart. We're starting to see a rise in momentum. You can see a double bottom that we have on here, which is why it's on the best penny stocks to buy now. We do have to overtake that 13 EMA, that darn thing. There it is again. Got to get up on top of that. It's at 161. We closed last week at $1.58. Getting on top of that's going to be huge for us. We could potentially see this thing pop up near $2 per share, especially if we can get up to that 50 EMA that's on here. Let's drop down to the daily chart. We are in bullish territory. We're getting some increased volumes here as we start to trade a little bit sideways on this thing. You can see the high wick that we have with that selling pressure that came in, likely because we're near that 13 EMA. On the weekly chart, this is the daily chart that we're looking at. Got to trade up above the 50. If so, we already have the bullish crossover since I started covering this back on June the 26th. I don't know the exact day that I started covering it. As a matter of fact, it may have been the next day over on Friday the 27th. Somewhere in there, I started covering this thing. Bullish crossover. If we can get the 5 over the 50 and the 13 over the 50, this thing could be rocket ships for an NDM. And with the bullish momentum that we have and also the rising momentum on the weekly chart, this I think could be a rocket ship for us. This could put us back near that $2 mark, like I said before, for an NDM. LCID is the next one on the list. Kind of has a little bit of a bull flag look here as we look at the daily chart for this with some elevated volumes. And this one has a triple bottom. 1, 2, 3 bottoms on this thing. We're up above the 5 and the 13. The 5 has crossed the 13. Once again, get the 5 and the 13 over the 50. Rocket ships for this one as well. Puts us up at least into the mid 2s on a move like that potentially. So I do think that this could have an outsized move coming for us. And I got my fingers crossed that we really do start to head that way. So, and Lucid is the one that's on here. Our RSI 53 is what we're at right now. And then when we got to the weekly chart on this, we might be crossing 50 sometime soon. There's that darn 13 EMA still messing with us at this time. Closing above it. Can't stress enough. That's at $2.31. Got a high wick last time we tried, but the momentum is still fresh and ripe. Bearish, but only slightly so. We need to watch and see if it crosses over 50 on a weekly basis. Monthly basis, this thing is pretty much flat right now. We need some early movement from the weeks and the days. Get that to translate into the months. Get on top of that 5-month right there, and that would be perfect for us, which right now it's at $2.31 for that 5 EMA. We closed at $2.29. So put us up in that 232 and above. We should start to see some easier times for Lucid stock moving north from here. Should give us some outsized returns. REKR, Recourse Systems, and this comes from the 1-month chart that we're looking at, trading up above the 5 EMA, still getting rejected at the 13 EMA. We made it all the way up to the 50. I played this one last time, took I think 100 or 150% on the options play, shared over at the Discord. Remember, links in the description, code word doctor when you sign up. Got a nice little bottoming here on the monthly chart as you look at this. Beautiful, beautiful double bottom, breaking up above that 13 at $1.37 and holding on to it for the month of July, maybe month of August is going to be absolutely huge for us. Let's drop down to the weekly chart on this thing. And when we look at the weekly chart, we got this beautiful setup. We're at 50 for the RSI. Need to get on top of that 50 week at $1.34. So up north of that is going to be great. We held on to it back at the beginning of June, but then lost it as we got into the second full trading week of June. But we did hold on to the 13, and that's perfect. Got to push up over that to keep this thing going. Let's drop down to the daily chart and see what it looks like there. On the daily chart for Recourse Systems, there's that darn 200 day. This is the 200 EMA in blue coming across the screen, sitting on top of that at $1.29. So it looks like if we get through the mid $1.30 range is where we should start to see some serious upside. We do want to see some movement going. We have some high top wicks. We still have the 5 and the 13 and the 50 all stacked in bullish order. This is still overall bearish as we look at it as per the EMAs. If we put up the simple moving averages, we have reverted to the mean, but we are trading up above the 20. If we can get the 50 to cross up over the 200 on this, we could have that golden cross moment. So guys, I have just 2 more to cover for you. PacBio, PACB, Pacific Biosciences, and then also Ocugen to go over. I did just want to say for that Discord, there are 1,000 community members. There's a whole team of experts there waiting for you to come on over and join. You can try it out for less than $1 a day when you do use that code word doctor. And when I say it's an entire ecosystem, you can spend all day in there throughout the trading days, throughout the weekend, learning from the learning materials, going through and watching the live trading stuff that happens throughout the week. You can also check out the Expert of the Week channel, the expert channels, the Ask the Expert channel. They are all over there. Stocks, crypto, bonds, penny stocks, really whatever's your flavor of finance, it's there waiting for you. And if you guys want to learn to do technical analysis like you see here and more, learn how to trade using technicals, learn how to up your options game to really fill out the alpha in your portfolio, there's some coursework through Stockmo Academy. Links in the description for that one. Signing up for that, code word doctor works for that too to get you a discount. It is a one-time fee, lifetime access course. As a matter of fact, there's 2 courses there, one for technical analysis and trading, another one for options with more coursework on the way. When you bundle those 2 courses together, you get a massive discount. Code word doctor gets you an even deeper discount on those courses. So guys, in the description, if you're trying to support yourself, if you're looking for a community to go to that is the best that I've ever found, and it's why I'm part of it, come on over. We'd love to have you. Let's see the last 2 stocks that are on here. So for Pacific Biosciences, there we go. Pac Bio, where do we find ourselves? These are simple moving averages that are up here. We are butting up against that 200-day right at $1.55. And this one's wild. This one can push up over $3 per share if we can catch that bullish moment for this one. Let me drop that down, put this up. There we go. These are the EMAs that we're looking at. We got to hold on to that 5-period EMA. If we don't, then we're watching for support of the 13, but we got 5 over the 13 over the 50. We got 60 for an RSI. If we go to the weekly chart on this, we are at 52. We have just officially crossed into bullish territory, and we have the 5 up above the 13, but we are still down below the 50. So we still are overall in bearish territory, but the RSI on the daily chart, bullish. On the weekly chart, bullish. Let's go out to the monthly chart on this thing and see what that looks like as well. We got to the monthly chart. We have the earliest signs. It's actually down here. There we go. Earliest signs that this thing's starting to rise up on us, including trading up above the 5 EMA, which wasn't happening for the earlier things that were on this list. So it's absolutely huge, and that's why it's near the top of this list. For Pacific Biosciences, we're watching for this thing, see if we can get up near that $2 per share mark that the 200 EMA, that's the 13 EMA is on here. And then if you go back to the weekly chart, what do we find up north? About $1.92 is that 50-period EMA. And on the daily chart, $1.69 is where we find the 200 EMA. And if we bring up the simple moving averages just to see where that's positioned, that is all the way down at $1.55. So we got our work cut out for us. This thing could absolutely pump for us under the right conditions. The momentum is right. And let's shrink up the volume. Actually, let's reset the view. There we go. Now we got our volumes back. Volume starting to pick up a little bit on us. We'll see if it can keep on going. Getting up above the 200-day is huge. Let me take down the EMAs, because if we can pull the 50-period up along with it, that is going to give us that golden cross moment. We got the 20 over the 100. That's the white line that's here. And then we got the 50 coming up on the 100. So that magenta color over the white color that's on here. So for Pacific Biosciences, up near the top, because of the technicals that are on here, that it could start to give us a further move north, and we could see more of a sustained rally for it. So moving over into Oxygen from the daily chart that's on here, big old volume bomb happening in here on, let me see, Friday the 27th is when we got that. And for this one, let me go out to the monthly chart actually. Let's reset the view and really take a look at what we got. You guys can see the sell-off over time. This is exactly what a penny stock looks like. But man, this company, I'll tell you what, from a technical standpoint, it is on the move. I've been covering it since May the 20th, along with things like BBAI stock, for example. This one has made its move. We've collected our cash off of it, made a ton of cash off of it. As a matter of fact, the receipts are available over at the Discord. But this is the risk of a penny stock, and this is definitely a pre-profit company. This is one that my grandmother had macular degeneration, and they're working on some therapies for that to help fix it up. Now, this is not a fundamental view. This is a technical view at it. But from this monthly chart for OCGN, again, ticker's in the back here, and you can see what chart period we're looking at. We are starting to trade up above the 20 period, and that's huge. That means when we start trading above it, then we're trading above that mean. That's more of a bullish thing. And oftentimes reverting to that 20 period is reverting to the mean. So we've kind of had those swings up and hit it, couldn't hold it. Now we're trying again, see if we do hold it. We are trading up above the 5 and the 13 period for the EMAs for this. That's a bullish thing to see that cross. The RSI on a monthly chart is climbing. It's been climbing for a while. It's as high as it's been in a while, even higher than what we had back here in the first, I guess this was the month of May. Fast forward to where we find ourselves at here. Actually, that's May of 2024. Fast forward to July of 2025, and we're finally getting a higher climb on that. Still bearish, but starting to make a climb, and we have a higher low being put in, a confirmed higher low for this thing. Last time I was trading this, prior to this most recent time when I first started getting into Ocugen, this thing was, I think 50-ish or so cents per share, and it climbed all the way up over $2. We could find ourselves right near that $2 range again, but watch out for that selling pressure that comes in for Ocugen. Let's drop down to the weekly chart. On a weekly basis, we are perfectly in bullish territory, and look at this candle formation that we have here. The positioning with the moving averages, the 5 and the 13. The 13 just freshly crossing over the 50. That's a huge bullish move with bullish momentum for the RSI as well. And so that I'm intrigued to see what comes up this next week, especially if we have market strength with more of a risk on mindset, especially with crypto going bonkers the way that it has, with Bitcoin putting in more all-time highs for this. So dropping down to the daily chart, where do we find ourselves? At 64, so we are not in overbought territory where I cashed out the last time. We've reset that momentum and started that climb as we caught our support off the 50 period. We're above the 200 EMA, bullish, above the 50, above the 13, above. This is a perfect bullish setup here. Perfect stack. You can see the selling pressure that we get into north of $1, and that one so far, last time we peaked at around $1.30. We could see a further climb from here, given what we see from the longer term momentum trend. So let's do one more thing, but let's put up the simple moving averages on here for the best penny stocks to buy now. And what do we see? Well, we're above the 20. We could revert to the mean, which that'd be better positioning for us if we're going to get into something like this. But with the 20 above the 50 is above the 200. The last thing is getting that 100 period simple moving average to cross up above the 200. And then we'll have that perfect stack where the faster moving averages are all above the slower ones. And we also have the bullish momentum for it. Potentially, we get the monthly to cross up over 50, because that can tell us that we're going to get a much bigger move out of Ocugen, that there's building momentum on this, being something pushing it over time to push us to those higher prices. And it is a penny stock, though. Still a profitless company, very small revenues for a company like this. No earnings. Matter of fact, it just loses money. So FDA approvals for their gene therapies. I think they even operate in Europe. Maybe I'm trying to go off memory here. Don't fact check me on that one. I certainly don't have a full amount of research into what exactly it is that Ocugen does. But I will say that this one is going to be a momentum mover and a news mover. And being a penny stock, it can also be a pump and dumper, but we are seeing those longer term trends, which could be significant catalysts that push us up over that $2 mark again when it's trading down at $1.14 at the moment. So out of the best penny stocks to buy now, I hope you appreciate the order that I stacked them in, from honorable mention to the ones that were the most exciting. And if you go and you look at Big Bear AI, for example, that one I was covering since May the 20th and talking about the monthly chart, what that looked like for the RSI, what the weekly looked like for RSI, and what the daily looked like. And I said, this is perfect with the way the monthly setup, the weekly setup, the daily setup, all these in confluence to really start to energize that stock. We saw the volumes go absolutely bonkers for trading for Big Bear AI, and that thing went from $3-ish a share at the time. I don't remember exactly without looking, but that one actually went up over $8 per share recently before settling back down again. Although I do think that one has a high potential to start to ramp back up and put us between $10 and $15 per share. We're going to have to watch and see where the bottom comes in for that chart. But let me know down in the comments what you think about the best penny stocks to buy now. Like I said, you can join us over at the Discord. Code word doctor when you sign up. Make sure you choose the earner tier so you get access to the expert channels, the Ask the Expert channel, and that you can see everything that the Discord has to offer its community members. And you know, a lot of people, thousands of people are already over there enjoying everything that we have going on, enjoying each other, enjoying the experts, enjoying the live trading, enjoying the lessons, you name it. Like I said, it's an entire ecosystem there to support you in this process. And that coursework is top notch, made by Stockmo and Mrs. Mo, both career educators. I've vetted it myself. I'm also a career educator, 17 years in education with an earned doctorate, master's degree in instructional technology, huge passion for finance where I study this stuff all the time, and they are rock solid courses and small, easy to digest. Code word doctor is going to get you a big old fat discount on those courses, making them even cheaper, and bundling the two together with code word doctor. So bundling the discount from the bundle. I think code word doctor, I don't know why I started saying that, but in any case, that bundle discount plus the discount of code word doctor makes it so darn affordable, and it can pay back in dividends with the information that it supplies you with, making you a much better trader and much more able to navigate these markets. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. I'll see you next video.